Okay, let's go ahead and head to the gym now. Right before we started up the car to warm it up, man, I was checking last night my email address and I saw an email from PetSmart letting me know that my subscription that I had, because I signed up for for the first time. If you sign up for the first time, you get 35% off your order. And so I was like, all right, bet, let me let me sign up. So I forgot to unsubscribe, and so tell me why there were 5 litters waiting for me down 2 flights of steps. Let me show you guys the ones that we had to carry upstairs. Man, each one was 38 pounds. And so we were huffing and puffing, putting those up there. And we just did a brutal leg day yesterday. So, man, we kind of already started, we already kind of started this off a little bit, a little bit bad, but I think that's okay. I think that's okay. I think sometimes it can only go up from here. It's what I'm hoping, right? Is what I'm hoping. Maybe turns out that once we get to the gym, we end up hitting a PR. Maybe that's the case, and it just sets us up for us to celebrate even better. You never know. You never know. Now, a good thing that I found out right now too, as I was kind of messing around with my things, man, I am an idiot. I swear, and it's because there's just so many things I'm doing that there's some things that sometimes they can get out of whack, they can get out of order. And so tell me why I was noticing that my mic did not have the, what is it called? Man, see, now I'm forgetting the words. Uh, Noise cancellation. There you go. It didn't have the noise cancellation. And so, man, I've been riding around every single session for the longest time now without the noise cancellation going on. No wonder I had to really mess around with the audio post production. And I was like, how come there's just so much noise, and how come the mic is grabbing so much of like the noise around me? And then I was just messing around when I was looking at the lights, because the lights also indicate whether the noise cancellation is on or not. And it hasn't been on. I think it hasn't been on for the longest time now. So we're gonna check out the audio from today, or from this car talk and today's session, to kind of see what the difference is between the ones we've been kind of the one we've been kind of riding with, and the little change that we ended up implementing today, because we just found out literally as I was getting inside the car after farmers walking those litters upstairs. Now, I basically almost paid basically full price for all of those litters, so I don't know what to do now. I don't know what to do, because the originally I did it because it was 35% off your first auto ship order. And so this is what you get. This is what you get for not remembering your subscriptions, because I think I forgot about that one. Then I ended up getting an email, and I forget how fast PetSmart is at shipping things out. So I think, man, I swear they do that on purpose. They're like, if we ship it out super, super fast, it'll be harder for them to return it. And now it's harder for me to return it. So I think we're just gonna have to bite the bullet and just for sure unsubscribe once we get home, but also, man, just eat up the cost from that litters, because if not, we're gonna have to take them to the nearest PetSmart, and we don't really have a PetSmart close to us. I think the nearest one is maybe about 25 to 30 minutes away with traffic. So, man, it is not the best situation that we are in. We're starting off things a little iffy, but things are kind of looking up. Things are kind of looking up, because at least we found out about the noise cancellation not being on. So hopefully that just makes the audio a lot better as we're kind of going throughout the gym. Now, today is a chest day, and we are not kidding. We are going to be going in. We're going to be destroying chest. Now, it's still going to be a little modified, where gonna be playing around with 6 sets, and I'm thinking 4 to 5 out of those sets are gonna be taking a failure, and then whichever one, just kind of depends on which one I decide, will be kind of close to failure. You know, we still go hard regardless. I think we still want to go hard. We still want to take every single set through the full range of motion, and that's what we're gonna be doing. So cross your fingers that we also get that machine that we like. That kind of it's kind of like a Smith machine, you would call it, between a dumbbell and a Smith machine. I'll show you guys once we get over there. And then after that, we're gonna probably do that for 3 sets, and then we're gonna do 3 sets of flies with the peg deck. Now, with the peg deck, hopefully we can find those little seat extenders, because we like to put them behind our back to want to force our chest a little bit more forward, so that way when you're going forward, you're not scooping in too much, but also it gives you more range of motion and it gives you a bigger stretch, and that's what we're looking for. So hopefully we can have access to one of those, because sometimes I have to kind of go around looking for them a little bit, and then sometimes we find them, sometimes we don't find them, but we'll see if we end up getting access to one once we get there. And then we're gonna end up doing some tricep extensions. Not tricep extensions. We're gonna be moving on to triceps. You know what's happening right now is that damn pre-workout is kicking in. I've been telling you guys, every time I take the pre-workout, it makes me stutter for some reason. I just can't say my words properly because I don't know, it just gets me all jittery. But we're gonna be moving on to triceps, and we're gonna be doing, hopefully, I've been kind of really rocking with the primers, rocking with those. So I'm thinking maybe we'll do 2 sets of primers. Some crossbody work would be pretty good. Still take them pretty heavy, and then maybe some push downs for 2 to 3 sets, and then finishing off triceps with some overhead tricep extensions will be pretty good. Just keeping it how we usually do it. We don't have to change things up. We just want to progress from where we're at. And then we're gonna move over to some hamstrings. Now, hopefully the seated hamstring curls are available once we get to them, but sometimes they're taken, so we might just do the seated hamstring curl. It just kind of depends. Either one is good, honestly. I don't really have a crazy preference, just because I feel like when I take a break from the one that I'm laying down in, or that specific position, I get a really good stretch and it feels pretty good. And then I end up doing the seated one for a while, and then that one feels really good. So they both been feeling pretty good. It just kind of sometimes depends on what I'm kind of feeling that day. So there's nothing like specifically super, super special, as long as you're going hard with the movement. I think that's what ultimately matters. And then we're gonna do some RDLs. Hopefully this time around we get to record those. Last time it was pretty busy around the dumbbell area, so I didn't want to set up the tripod and everything and set it up somewhere. So I was just like, you know what, I'll just skip recording those RDLs and we'll just go to the pump check. But hopefully we find some room today and we can do some of those RDLs and maybe record 1 set of those. I think will be pretty good. Now, don't get fooled by the lighting outside. It is not warm. Now the weather, I don't know what's been going on over here in the Bay, but the weather's been all over the place. Some days it's hella hot, man. It's hella hot inside the apartment, inside the car once I go in. And then today, right, I went on my morning walk and it was like misty and everything. It was hella cold, and right now it's hella windy but pretty cold. So, man. Okay. Anyways, let's go ahead and switch over now to the gym. Let's see if we get access to that machine that we've been talking about. Hopefully we do. Cross your fingers. I will see you guys there. Okay, so it's not too busy at the gym right now, so we got lucky. We got access to this bad boy. Let's set it up, and then we'll start. Now, with a lot of these machines, what I like to do is I kind of just set them to the lowest range you can get, So that way I can get a deep stretch no matter what I'm doing. So let's see how this feels first. Hit it for maybe, there's the 120 for maybe 2. Then we'll move up for maybe 1. And I'm thinking our tops is either going to be 205 or I think 205 should be good as long as we can get maybe 7. I think that'll be good. All right, let's see how this is feeling. Okay, that was good. Let's do 170 for the second warm up. Okay, now for our 2 main sets, we're gonna use these, but because we're warming up still, we're just gonna use the belt, stabilize a little bit. Okay. I think today's gonna be a good day. Let's do those 205. Let's hopefully 7 to 8 is what I'm aiming for. But because it's pretty empty at the gym right now, I think we're really gonna stay around the general area here. And we'll be good. Okay. So let's put these on. See how this goes. That's good. Wish me luck. Oh, there we go. Come on. Okay. That was good. Let's switch the angle. And let's drop down just a tiny bit. Giving you guys a bit of an angle change. Let's hit this bad boy for maybe, I don't know, 6 to 8 is a rep range we're going for. Now, I think we're gonna drop the two fives, take out those 10s, and hit it for 195 with the wraps. And then just kind of depending on how that goes, we either do that again or I drop down just a tiny bit. It just kind of depends. But this next one, we got to go hard. So I'm going to take maybe about a minute to a minute and a half, and then we'll start. All right. Okay. That was good. Let's say these things out. They are killing my circulation. Okay. We hit the 7 that we wanted. Let's zoom in a little bit and let's hit it for one more. I think on this next one, maybe we'll do 190, but we're gonna retire these and switch over to the little wrist wraps to help me just a tiny bit more on my wrist support, because sometimes when you're getting to the heavier weight, your wrist can become a little bit more on the compromised side, and then the last thing you need is fucking breaking a bone. Now, I'm gonna take maybe 2-3 minutes and then we'll start this bad boy off again. All right, let's do this next one. Okay, that was good. Now let's switch over to the next one. Now we're down here. Now I don't wanna go too crazy now, so we're gonna go to some pec deck now. Okay, let's go ahead and do our last exercise for chest. Luckily, this bad boy came available once we were done with the first exercise, so we're gonna stick here and then we're gonna go grab a cable stack and do some tricep extensions. Hopefully, you can start with some cross bodies. That's what I'm anticipating is gonna happen, because those primers have been really setting us up for the heavier lifts, and I really haven't been feeling a lot of the elbow pain that I sometimes get when we start off super heavy push downs, for example. Sometimes what can happen once I get to the overheads, I start to feel a little bit of that elbow pain, which is not the it's not the best feeling when you're going through it. It almost feels like you're gonna fucking hurt yourself, which kind of sucks. I think we're gonna do 140s. We grabbed our little trusty little seat here. We like to use this behind our back because it pushes our chest forward, and it also gives a little bit more range of motion. That's what we're aiming for. All right, let's put a good song, and then we'll start. There we go. Let's drop down the next one. I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of an angle change. Okay. Now, I'm gonna take maybe 2 minutes and we'll start our next one. All right. All right. Let's drop set there. You know what's the funniest fucking thing? I forgot to switch the weight. So we're doing 140. Okay. Now, I think this next one's gonna be a bit of a pump set, just because I feel like if I take this next one to failure, we're not fucking recovering on time. Now, for this last one, let's move down to 100. Let me switch the weight. Here I go, forgetting again. All right, there you go. I almost did the exact same weight and we're trying to move down. That's it. Let's move on to triceps now. We're gonna start with some primers. We're gonna do some of these a little bit closer up, get a good stretch, and then just press all the way down. I think we're just gonna do these for 2, and then I'll go grab a bar. Just kind of depends. I don't think we're gonna be using the W bar that kind of sits our wrist kind of. I don't know. It gives me like a weird curve on my wrist that sometimes it starts hurting towards the end of the workout. So I think we're gonna be sticking to the straight bar. Okay, let's do 17. See how that feels, and then worst case scenario we move up to 20 if it feels too light, or we just do it extra slow. Just kind of depends. Make sure this thing's on the same height. All right, we're good. Okay. I think we can do one more just like that. Let's do 17 again because that felt pretty good. And I was able to control it pretty well. Now, I think I'm going to keep the same angle for this next one. Oh, man. I think triceps is going to be a bit of a hard one for us because, man, that 17 felt fucking heavy. Felt heavy. Man, we still got to do fucking hamstrings, which is going to be, it's going to be a fucking journey. It's going to be a journey, but let's go hard on this next one. I'm getting carried away. Yeah, 17, all right. Okay. That was good. Let's switch the angle and let's do some push downs now. All right, for this one, we're gonna do 57. Hopefully, we can get a solid. I don't know, 7, maybe 8, but we'll see. We'll see. Just ignore me. I am not gonna lie. That was fucking hard, and I almost fucking fainted, but we got through it. We got through it. For this next one, we're gonna hit it for, man, let's do 53. Try to get for sure at least a solid 6. Hopefully 7. I think we can do that. And then I'm thinking for the last one. No, I'm thinking we'll do 2 of these. You know what? Let's see how this next one feels before I start getting carried away, because that always happens to me. All right, let's switch the song real quick. Here we go. All right. Right. we're gonna. There I go, dropping my AirPod. But we're gonna drop down to 50 because man, that 53-ish was too fucking heavy, and we just barely got that 6. For sure on this last one, with the 50s, we for sure want to get a solid 7, 8. I think I'll be good. All right, I'm gonna take maybe 2 minutes. Start up again. I changed my mind. We're gonna just do some overheads for 2 sets. So we can keep it around 6 sets. And I think that'll be pretty good. I don't think we need a 7 set because my triceps are already feeling pretty fucking pumped. I'm not gonna lie. All right, let's bring out our little trusty little wrist wraps. We'll start up. All right, let's see. Now the goal here is to keep my elbows as tucked in as much as possible, so that way we can, keep the best form. Keep the best form. I feel like once my elbows start kind of flaring out a little bit. That's when it gets a little bit more complicated, and I don't use my triceps as much. So I want to make sure I'm using my triceps as much as possible. 1 second. Give me like a call. Where's my phone? You know what? They'll leave a message. Let's try this out. One more just like that. And then we're done for triceps. Thank God, man. I'm already beat. I won't even lie to you guys. All right, let's do our last one. I see a seated curl waiting for us. Let's see how this goes. I ended up dropping down a little bit from 37 to 33. I just want to make sure I'm keeping my elbows as tucked in as possible. And thankfully with the video, I'll be able to see that once we get home. There we go. We're done. Let's go do some seated curls. There we go. Damn. Now, whoever was on this thing was fucking tall. All right, we're gonna sit here for a total of 3 sets, and then we're gonna move over to some somebody else. I'm thinking I'm just gonna record maybe the first set, just so I don't make this video any longer than it needs to be. Now, I think I'm gonna warm up. I don't think I'm gonna include it in the video though. I'm just gonna record the top set, so I'll see you guys for the top set. I'm gonna warm up. I think that's a pretty good setup. Now, what I'm gonna do on this one is actually I'm gonna just go forward because I just feel like it feels a little bit better and I get a better stretch. And I think we set up pretty well already. I don't think I need to modify anything. I think for this first one we'll do 205. See how that feels. Okay. That was good. I'm gonna save for two more. I think we're gonna drop down though, cause that was fucking heavy. It's looking a little dark from this side, but that's fine. I'm just gonna record the first set of these. I'm gonna sit here for two. Maybe we'll do the same weight. I'll kind of decide towards the end. I think what I'll do is actually change the exposure because what I'm doing is exposing the background instead of myself. So I think we'll be good. Now, I won't be taking off my shoes for this one because we're wearing these 13s, and honestly, these 13s are not, they take hella long to put on, so we're not even going to bother. Let's do this. We'll put these here, and then we'll settle. There we go. I think the hardest fucking part is setting up. I'm going to be honest with you guys. There we go. Thankfully, with these Versa grips, it's a little bit easier. I think also I'm going to, next time I record these, I'm going to change the angle because it's hella dark. There we go. That's it. Let's switch over for you guys. I'm gonna see you for one more. Actually, not bad. Okay. Now, it got pretty packed at the gym, so I'm gonna have the pulls down here, unfortunately. Let's see what kind of damage we did. open. The exposure a little bit more now. It's looking a little dark. I mean, a little too bright. Way better. Take a look at the back. Okay. I think that's enough. Let's get one more back shot. And then we'll end today's vlog. I need to get better at my posing when I'm not in front of a mirror, because it's really hard to pose down and just kind of be super even when I'm posing down, but I'm not looking at myself through like a mirror. It's just way easier to practice that way, as opposed to not seeing everything and then kind of getting home and then seeing where I kind of messed up instead of kind of fixing it on the spot. So I think at some point maybe I'll post a posing practice video so you guys can let me know what I can improve. I think that'll be pretty good. I'll just take a look at the back real quick and then we'll head out. I think that's it. Let's go home. We have about 1,000 calories to play with. So I think once we get home, I think some chicken strips and some rice is gonna do us good with some of that ranch. Super, super excited for that. That's what I'm thinking. We kind of had our our Nick's ice cream already this morning, which is not a good thing. I've been telling you guys, every time I have Nick's or ice cream in the morning, it messes up my stomach throughout the whole damn day. And I just never learned my lesson. I never learned it. I always just crave ice cream in the morning for like the past three weeks, and I've been falling victim of it. And now my stomach hurts every single day almost. So maybe we'll need to switch things up a little bit. But I think until then, we've been handling the suffering pretty well, if you guys ask me. So I think for now we'll continue to indulge in some ice cream until we get tired of it. Anyways, I'll see you guys for the next video. Remember to stay consistent and don't skip your cardio.